thank you everybody for coming tonight. It's really been a heck of a year. And I know while this meeting is of the membership and everyone plays their own role in that, it's really nice to take a beat and sit back and take in the full spectrum of what FPAC, Framingham Public Access, has accomplished over the past year. My name is Jason Daniels, Executive Director of Access Framingham. So I hope you all have eaten some food, presented by the Brazilian Family Bakery, Samba Sushi, and Rasoi Indian Cuisine. Also, if you haven't yet, please grab a goodie mug on the way out. All right, so we're about to formally kick the meeting off. So let me first give you an overview and take a look at the agenda. All right, so we have got welcoming here, President's remarks, Treasurer's report, my report, as well as a number of videos for an exciting year in review. We've got acknowledgement of our Volunteer of the Year, a taste of what's to come in the coming year, and then the board elections and nomination process. We'll finish up with some questions and answers, and then we're done. So with that in mind, I want to hand this over to the board president, Dan Lample.
Thank you, Jason. I've been president for about a year now. Can you hear me? Is this mic on? Testing? We're all set? All right. I've been president for about a year now, and I've been on the board for 2.5 years. Before joining the board, while I have extensive experience in the financial services and entrepreneurial space, I did not have any experience in Access TV. With that said, the former longtime president and board member, Audrey Hall, got me up to speed quickly with all her mentoring before I took on this role. For that, I'm very grateful for her support and friendship along the way. Tonight, we're going to share with you all the great things that Access Framingham, including at the schools, have been up to over the past year, and all the great things planned for the coming year. Jason and his team will lead us through this review. But first, I wanted to share a few things about the board and what we have been up to over the past year. Our board is very different from many other nonprofit boards. Board members are asked to contribute much more than just show up at the board meeting each month. If I can borrow a saying from my kids' middle school, McAuliffe, about their own educational journey and apply the sentiment to our board, members are asked to be crew, not passengers. Members bring much needed skills necessary to run a corporation in access space to the board. For example, Michael Cunningham, our current clerk, brought both his technology and institutional knowledge of Access Framingham TV to the board. Kathy Sullivan, who's here tonight as well, brought her extensive communication skills to the board. Terry Banerjee brought her rules skills that she mastered while she was town moderator. Greg Hayes brought his considerable marketing and advertising skills to the board. Cynthia brought her extensive language skills to the board. Ambar brought his technology skills from his day job and his experience on the Framingham Finance Committee. Still others like Jessie Dudrick brought her nonprofit and volunteer experience. The last 12 months were unique for the board. It's the first year after some big changes in the organization, including the board supporting the ED and hiring his own team to implement his vision. The year was about just getting everything in order to make things happen, especially with the new initiative we launched just prior to last year's annual meeting, The Frame, which was the brainchild of Audrey Hall. The Frame is a weekly local news show that airs each Thursday night that provides current, local, unbiased news to our viewers. For those of you who haven't checked it out yet, you really should. And I don't want to steal any thunder from Jason and his team, so I will leave it at that for now. The board exists in large part to support these type of cutting-edge initiatives, as well as ensuring all the traditional offerings of our station are supported and fostered. The board had a few important contracts to renew this year, including our lease. I wanted to throw a shout out to our partners, who I think are here, the Gordons, Peter, Jim, and John, for offering a new fair lease, taking into account the nonprofit nature of our business that will ensure that we stay in the space for the next 5 or 10 years. Thank you. Given that we have a packed agenda for you tonight, I will now turn over the floor to Jason. Thank you.
Okay, so next up, we're going to do the treasurer report, and with that, I'm going to welcome up Ambar Sarkar, the treasurer.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Ambar Sarkar, and I'm one of the passengers of this wonderful ship. So I will keep this short and sweet. Treasurer's report, it won't go into extreme details, but just want to orient you in case you're not familiar, highlight the big items. So if you already know this, I know we are an independent nonprofit organization, and we sustain ourselves without any tax from the Framingham state, right, city. So we are completely funded by cable subscribers, and we also manage the public access and educational access television stations from our schools. So without much ado, let me just present two aspects of our operation. The first is, okay, where are we getting the money from, right? So the first part of it, as I mentioned, from our cable franchise fees, these are essentially a percentage of all the revenue that the cable companies get from Framingham. And the cable companies are Verizon, Comcast, and S-Town, which used to be RCN. And that's about 46% of our revenue. The next thing is we manage, as we mentioned, the Framingham Education Channel for the schools. And that's second, 34%. In terms of interest, grants, and dues, this includes, of course, the bank money where it stays, as well as some business sponsorships and things like that. And then finally, this part, transfer from accrual. Dan already mentioned this is the frame, which is a really exciting thing. And what we did was we are investing in this. It's a really great opportunity for us. And we are expecting over the next few years, it will become self-sufficient. But as a first step, we are strongly investing in it. We are totally behind it. And all the wonderful things I think will follow, you will see what follows there. So the part transfer from accrual, if you think of it, it's similar to what the city has as stabilization fund. Okay, so that's basically what it is. Okay, so the money coming that way, so where is it going? Well, as you can see, the biggest item is the payroll and benefits, which is 72%. The next thing comes up is the, I think the facilities, which is essentially the rent and vehicle maintenance and stuff like that. And then comes the, of course, the, here you will see the other operating expenses. So these are things like professional development and subscriptions, etc. And then finally, the communication services, which is about the internet and stuff. I did not mention the professional services. I forgot that. But essentially, it's about we sometimes have consulting engineers and stuff to come in and help us out. So that's pretty much it. And with that, I will turn over to Jason.
I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. And I'm going to take a moment to acknowledge the different parts of Access Framingham, the parts that make this amazing organization run. So first of all, I am deeply grateful for all the work and support of my staff. This is not an easy job. Most television stations have multi-million-dollar budgets, but these people run this great organization, in fact, running 2 channels on much, much less. So I want to go into detail and give every person a little bit of shout out here. So first off, I want to thank Brendan Fitzpatrick. He's our news supervisor. He's the force behind the frame. He'll be out here in a couple minutes, but if he wants to, if we want to open the door, we can, because half the staff is in there. but he's kept the ship stable. Oh, nice, well deserved. He's kept the ship stable during our inaugural year. His principled, responsive, and polished focus on local news is essential. As I said, we're going to have him come up here soon with a bit more of a detail on some of the work at the frame. Now, I literally can't mention the frame without acknowledging Mackenzie Wright, whose skills and passion have established a visual integrity for the program. Her work as the video producer and editor at the frame is amazing. We are sad that she is moving on, but when PBS calls, you got to answer. Rounding out the frame is Luciani Horso, our new host and reporter, who has helped level up the frame and evolve it in a new direction with Portuguese language content, all within our first year of operation. Coming over here back to 4 Vernon Street, the cornerstone of our work here at 4 Vernon is Andrea Sarvella, our operations manager. Nice. Whose work is the heart and soul of Access Framingham. She does a bit of everything, from member relations, to playback, to social media, to studio production, to driving the truck. Her awareness of the bigger picture is matched by her attention to detail, and we're really grateful to have her. Also here at 4 Vernon is our new production coordinator, Corey Lamont. So Corey has jumped into this role with both feet and is a hardworking and creative team member. It's full circle that a Framingham graduate got his first taste of media at our Fast TV middle school video program and now works here at Access Framingham. Moving on, of course, I need to thank Paul Boulet, this new station manager for the Framingham Educational Channel. When you look up the definition of crushing it, there is a picture of Paul at Framingham Educational Channel. What he's been able to do over the summer has been amazing, and moving it towards the fall is remarkable. Along with Paul is Matt Alvarez. Production coordinator at the Framingham Education Channel. Another Flyer graduate, Matt is a creative thinker with a great sense of humor. He's made the environment at the high school a welcoming, creative, and supportive space. I also want to give a shout out to Anna Viana, who is here probably in the back doing some of the social media work. She helped launch our TikTok account over the summer, which is no small feat, and she's done a lot of excellent work with downtown business outreach for us. I would next like to thank our board of directors, whose commitment and service to Framingham Public Access is tireless. They've been very supportive of me and my own development as a leader, and their commitment to making Framingham Public Access the best organization it can be, really helps stabilize this organization. I'd also like to thank all the organizations and a growing number of businesses who recognize that Framingham Public Access is a vital community resource. Hopefully we touched upon all of you in our highlight reel that will run in a minute. So I have to just stop the presentation and just acknowledge Max Mackenzie Wright, who just came in. Okay. Institutional partners are another element of what has really developed over the past year. So in addition to our close relationship with Framingham Public Schools is our increasingly close relationship with Framingham State University, Mass Bay Community College, and the co-op program with Keefe Tech Regional School. And finally, the main event, the individual members that make it happen. From sponsoring a program to orchestrating full studio productions, to those who want to learn more, to our impassioned interns, to those editors and camera people who selflessly volunteer their time and talent to the studio, from our stalwart producers to new faces around the studio, you make Access Framingham really connect with the community. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'd like to especially express my gratitude for the members that are here tonight. You care about the organization enough to come to the annual meeting and celebrate what we've accomplished. So thank you for that. We can keep it there, that's fine. And moving from the micro to the macro, I want to take a step back before celebrating the rest of what Framingham Public Access stands for. I want to just take a look at what the local media landscape looks like. We know that newspapers are not coming back, and not coming back in any form that they once were. While social media does provide an outlet for the community, you can't forget that nothing is for free, and it's almost, if you imagine social media, it's almost like renting an apartment on quicksand. And of course, people are flocking away from cable. In fact, the number of subscribers has dropped by 50% in the past 10 years. So it's in the face of all this that Access Framingham steps in, as it always has done, to connect the community. The tools evolve, as does the city. Local information needs change, but our mission is as relevant as ever. We connect people to events, stories, information, and to each other. We provide nonpartisan reporting from City Hall, spotlights on local businesses, information from Beacon Hill that affects the community. We are situated in the high school to serve as a catalyst in the perpetual effort to educate students in thoughtful content creation. And that part of that is obviously our deep collaborations with Keefe Tech, Mass Bay, and Framingham State. And we are all here to celebrate what has been done with FPAC in the past year, but also to hear about what's in store and to ensure a transparent organization with strong leadership moving forward. All right, so I'd like to call Paul Boulay, Station Manager at FEC TV.
Well, hey, I'm Paul Boulay, Station Manager at FEC TV, if you haven't heard that already a couple times. I wanted to thank Matt Alvarez before I said anything, because on day one, Matt Alvarez told me not to forget to crush it. I'm brand new at the station. I only started about 3 months ago. So what I have to say and show is going to be short and sweet. It's about hope. It's about excitement and energy. I didn't know what to expect when I started at FEC TV. I mean, I know Framingham. I lived on Everett Ave on the south side. I lived on Leonard Road in the north side. I can tell you the back roads from Farm Pond all the way up to Callahan with a cash-only stop at Gianni's on the way. So it felt natural coming back here and being able to communicate and teach and mentor in the place that I've called home for over 20 years now almost. Pardon. I've heard a common sentiment around the studio from the past few years, and that sentiment was that no was a familiar word, that there were lots of roadblocks and that there were lots of obstacles to the kids doing what they needed to do, which is produce great content. And I think personally that where there's a will, there's a way. And I think we have a lot of will in our new staff here at FEC TV, and we've already seen paths open up for the kids to do things they never thought they could do before. I'm incredibly proud of the work we've done in such a short time already, and we have no intention of stopping now. from infrastructure upgrades to individual courses and giving everyone what they need to succeed and produce good content. We are constantly looking to improve the situation at FEC TV Studios. We have big things in mind for the future, and I hope that the video that I'm about to show you will give you a glimpse into what I've had the pleasure of experiencing over the past 3 months and show you where our hearts and our minds are headed.
It's truly my my honor to be able to bring up the team from the Frame. Brendan Fitzpatrick, come on up here.
I was told I can invite Max up here if she wants. I'm going to put that in your court, Max, if you want to do it. She's taking it. Give a round of applause for Mackenzie Wright, everyone. It wasn't my idea to bring you up here. That was all Jason. So I'm going to throw Jason. I'm fine with throwing Jason under the bus there on that one. Well, again, folks, nice to see you here. Thank you all for coming out. My name is Brendan Fitzpatrick. I am the news supervisor here at Access Framingham under the Frame umbrella.
Hello, Mackenzie, Max for short. Such a pleasure to be here. So thank you for having me.
Formerly part of the Frame team onto bigger and better things. Obviously, wish her well there, but we'd be remiss not to feature her on this. So as you see on the screen there, the motto of the Frame initiative, the local news initiative here at Access Framingham, is Framingham News in Focus. And that's the long and short of our mission. Our goal here is to put the focus on stories that matter to the community members, the people who live, work, and study in Framingham, putting a hyper focus on local happenings in an ethical, professional manner. I was brought in here alongside Max last July of 2023. If you don't recognize me standing up here, it's because last year I had other pressing matters to take care of. So that's why I'm up here now speaking. And as a matter of fact, Saturday, I believe, marks the 1-year anniversary of our first episode, September 28th. So thank you very much. Yep. Come a long way since then. Come a long way. Since that time, we have aired, as a matter of fact, the 52nd episode of The Frame is airing as we speak right now, 7 o'clock on a Thursday. Within those 52 episodes, we have aired more than 400 individual story segments, and within that, about 75 feature pieces within our weekly focus segments and frame-by-frame segments, most of that done by Max over here on my left. It's covered a wide range of stories on The Frame, from municipal matters that matter to everyday life here to the Framingham residents, where your tax dollars are going, school happenings, the day-to-day changes and day-to-day happenings that go on in the city. And then also we have given highlights to many local residents, groups, events, initiatives, you name it, and everything in between. I could stand here and talk until I'm blue in the face about how proud I am of the work that we've done in the past year, but as any good storyteller, whether it's a journalist or a movie maker or whatever, would be able to tell you, it's better to show and not to tell. So if you would indulge us here, we have a little video highlighting some of our work over the past year on The Frame. Enjoy. Now, I don't want to take up a ton of time here, but again, I would be remiss. It wouldn't be right for me to not take a couple of seconds to give some thank yous after about a year and change of doing this this Frame business. First of all, to Jason and the current and past members of the board, thank you, folks. Yep. The need for strong local journalism, you don't just see it here in Metro West Massachusetts, you see it across the entire country. There's a vital need for an informed public, and can't tell you guys how appreciative that myself and Max are for leadership that understand that. So thank you for that. Speaking of Mackenzie Wright, the consummate professional, give it up for her. Unbelievable. I could stand up here talking about how hard of a worker, how skilled of a worker she is, but I think that reel kind of speaks for itself. Any good shot that you saw was hers. Any that you didn't like so much, it was probably mine. Andrea in the back over there. I'm blinded by the light, but there, see, exactly, proved my point. Again, utility player for AFTV has been so helpful with The Frame, doing whatever needs to get done, whether it's posting on Teleview, on YouTube, whatever it might be, to get this off the ground. We really appreciate it. And an extra thank you from my mom for featuring me on the Instagram stories so many times. Corey on the ones and twos in the back. Corey, newest member of the team. or he might be out now. Again, I can't see the light. He's been very helpful in editing the Portuguese edition of the frame. You may have noticed that, which transitions into Lou, who couldn't make it here tonight, but Corey and Lou have both been integral parts of one of our expansions to our efforts to make the frame more accessible to non-English speakers as we present a version of the frame in Portuguese each week now. We've started that over the last couple of weeks, last month or two or so, and we're really excited about that. Shout out to the interns over the summer, specifically Madison and Chase, for the help that they were able to provide. I know they're not here, but still thank you to them. And to finally, the AFTV community, anyone who has watched, shared these stories, read them, retweeted on Twitter or X, whatever they want to call it now, Facebook, anyone who has followed along with the frame up to this point, we really, really do appreciate it. Max, have you had any words to throw into that? I don't want to talk till...
No, I think a big thank you to Brendan. To be in a room full of people who, just wonderful people who care as much as they do, to be able to be a part of that, whether it's the staff, the community, getting to know a community, there's really no better feeling than that, especially the community that you gain from that. So I just wanted to say, in addition to that and all of the reciprocating the thank yous Brendan said, obviously just a huge thank you to Brendan for being the face of the frame and for doing such a great job. And it's been such a pleasure. So great job to you too. So.
And very quickly, again, I won't be up here all night, but very quickly, again, we're not stopping here. We're going into year 2 strong. A couple of things that we're excited about in the future. We'll be having a new look to our website, www.theframe.news, in case you were wondering. We'll look nice and sleek, nice and user-friendly, good user interface on that. That should be coming in the next couple of weeks. And also, we'll be bringing on a new Frame team member in the coming weeks to ensure that we keep presenting the high-quality news that we've been giving in the last year or so. So again, thank you very much for your time and enjoy the rest of the night.
Thank everybody for being here. It's nice to see folks in the studio. I come into the studio for board meetings, and I have yet to be back in here, actually during an event. I've been a member of Access Framingham in one form or another since back in the days over at AT&T on Burr Street. At that time, I had a TV show I created called Around Your Town, which basically the frame has become the dream that I had way back then. It's doing all of that. It's actually talking about any subject, anywhere, anytime. So that's what they're doing. So I want to give them a round of applause for doing a great job. They asked me to speak tonight to really encourage everybody in this room to go beyond this room and actually begin to get more people to come here. I know we recently hosted the Chamber of Commerce, trying to spread the word within the corporate community. But within the public, we need to get more young people, more old folks, whoever wants to come in and actually start using the studio, because it's a great studio. It's come a long way. There's a lot of new technology. The upcoming film festival is something that I think is going to be great, the first annual film festival. I just attended the Boston Film Festival for a couple of nights, and I've been involved with the Boston International Film Festival as well. So something like that really brings a lot of attention to the community. And right now we're out there looking for sponsors to get involved with, with being on the, on the poster behind during the festival. So anybody who might know companies or small businesses that want to get a name for themselves, this would be a good opportunity to get them involved. I understand there's quite a few films that have been reviewed and have been kind of wilted down to the best ones that they could find in various categories. It's going to be an all-day event. Hopefully down the road, it'll be much like the Boston Film Festival, which is now 40 years old, which is a 4 or 5 day event. So maybe one day Framingham can do that. There's great programs going on with Framingham State. There's great programs going on with the schools. And as Jason said and everybody else had said, there's a great staff here right now. So please reach out to your family, your friends, relatives, kids, get them to at least come here. I'm sure that if somebody wants to get a tour or they want to get an education about what goes on here, all they've got to do is reach out and ask somebody. That's what I have to say. I'm sorry I wasn't here for the beginning. I'm recently started doing music again down at Faux de Cow downtown. We ran from March of 2015 to March of 2020, and all the bands and fans have been saying, Greg, when are we going to get the music back down there again? So about a month ago or 2 months ago, Dan called me and said he wanted to do the music again, not Friday, but he wants to do Thursdays. So that's why I wasn't here in the beginning, and now I have to go back because I got the sound system in and everybody up and running, so now I got to run back down there and be the host. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the evening. Again, I appreciate everybody being here. Hope I covered everything that you guys wanted me to talk about. If there's anything else that I missed that I didn't bring up, because I don't have an outline.
Thank you everyone for being here tonight, and thanks for being a part of the Access Framingham family. Our success is a testament to the strength of our team, and our members and volunteers are the heart and soul of this organization. I'm honored to be up here today to celebrate the extraordinary contributions of our Volunteer of the Year, Marcia Sharp. What? Oh. Oh. Yep. That's not playing yet, though. You may notice that she's not here tonight. She's in Jamaica, as I just heard in the audience. So Marcia has been a rock star on the Access Framingham team for years. We wouldn't be the same without her. Marcia has been instrumental in introducing Access Framingham to the community. Marcia has been a great ambassador for us, promoting our work on social media and spreading awareness. I don't know if anyone saw her new selfie stick this summer, but she's out there. Marcia has been a regular at Framingham events like the Farmers Market, open houses here, Earth Day Fest, and making sure everyone knows who we are. Marcia's tireless efforts, and I do mean tireless, she has more energy than I do, have significantly increased our community visibility. She has been a driving force behind our success, always going above and beyond. Has anyone here tonight not talked to Marcia and heard about Access Framingham? This isn't a ploy to get her on the payroll either. One of Marcia's greatest strengths is her ability to connect with people. When she's not traveling, she's usually here every day, ready to give tours, sometimes most of the time unannounced, and introducing others to our organization. Her enthusiasm and passion are truly contagious. Her dedication, commitment, and passion for Access Framingham make her truly deserving of the Volunteer of the Year award. She's been a game changer for us and the community, so let's give her a round of applause.
I wanted to leave you with a few coming attractions. We did hear already, thankfully, from Brendan about the Frame 2.0 and our expansion on social. We are already on podcasts, so if you are a podcast person, you can subscribe to our podcasts. And then also, Paul talked a bit about the big switch. Basically, a coming attraction, the revolution continues. And I did want to take a couple minutes to talk about some of the things happening here at Access Framingham. So I think we're saying that this year we're putting a focus on members, and we're excited to have some new series as well as some of our mainstay programs continuing on. And we also have new shows like Mission Driven, which is a podcast on Framingham nonprofits led by me. But there are some really noteworthy events and people to mention from our membership that are doing some really great things. On November 16th at the Village Hall will be the Access Film Festival. It's a full day of films from around the region and around the world, along with workshops and networking opportunities. So I want to thank member Diana Porter. You still here? Who has really led the charge on this. We're all so excited, so please get your tickets today before they sell out. Secondly, I wanted to mention a unique live stream holiday special that is in the works from the Spectrum Show, produced by Spencer Mark. Spencer? All right. If you would like to help with the crew, this would be an amazing opportunity with a very motivated producer and team.
I'd just like to say good evening to everybody, and also say thank you for attending our annual meeting. We've just gone through such exciting things, and it's been exciting for me to work with the board this year. It's been a pleasure, and it's been an honor to work under the leadership of our president, Dan Lample, and also with my fellow board members. This is one of the most fun, fulfilling things that I've ever done. Part of my job this year was leading a committee on the restructuring of our membership. And we wanted to do this to be able to offer more to our community, more opportunities to learn how to use our equipment, our studio, produce programs and podcasts and things like that. We hope to roll this out at the beginning of 2025. But at this moment, I want to say thank you to the community again, and I have some exciting news. So this is for all of our members who are 65 years old or older and have been continual members for at least 10 years. We want to thank you for that. And so starting next year, when you pay your basic membership dues, that'll be the last dues that you pay. You will be lifetime members with us. Yippee! So thank
Anything special if you're 90 years old?
We'll come up with something.
I'll stop you about it.
So, and again, I'd like to thank our members and our donors that you are the most important part of why we're here.